Just stand right now. It's a no.
It's maybe
Let's go flag. Let's go flag.
You just go to
3, 2, 1. Distance. No one. Up.
Orange and out?
Make up where the goal is. We always make up where the goal is.
It's actually all made up.
Yeah, each rep. It's gonna be different. Keep it close. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Got Dre here.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. This is Bennett.
Coming to you live from Texas School for the Deaf.
Is this live on air right now?
Should be. Let us know in the comments if we are live, if you can hear us. Not that I'm monitoring the comments or anything, but just let us know. Not yet.
It's going to be a very interactive stream.
I hope so.
We're going to be taking questions. I have some friends that live in the D.C. area that we're going to ask them to phone in maybe.
Is this a radio show?
100%.
Gotta get my zoom test down. That's like the one thing I'm always bad at. What? Like zoom in with the disc. That's tough to see. I'm so like for tough, our camera angle is always sideline, so we just have like a big wide angle. We just had to like follow, and then we finally switched to end zone. I'm like, fuck, this is hard. Yeah, too.
Just because we only have one end zone, so the action happens. Hopefully that thing's got a big jump.
Yeah. Let's go.
I hope it's just a question out of the...
Hydrate. Make sure you hydrate. I know you guys are used to this heat, but get the water. Eye black. Water, electrolytes. Yes, water, electrolytes,
All right, fans, 5 minutes till the start of our program. Start making your way to your seats. We'll get it on.
Got you.
Thank God. I was worried it was water.
Well,
All right. Howdy, friends, and welcome to the final home game for the Austin Torch in the 2025 season. Give it up. We're here at the legendary Texas School for the Deaf, and we've got a showdown you don't want to miss. Tonight, it is your hometown Austin Torch taking on the visiting DC Shadow. Let's hear it for our guests from Washington, DC. DC currently sits atop the South Division at 4-0, while Torch are 2-2 with 2 games remaining. I'm your announcer, Joe. I'm fun to bring you all the action tonight. A huge shout out to Texas School for the Deaf for hosting us this evening, and be sure to check out tonight's ticket featuring Olivia Walker, Kinsey Mees, and Brenda Oriano from the Austin Torch. So what do you say, Austin? Let's make some noise and get ready and rowdy for some fast. Let's go! Let's go, Torch! Introducing tonight's visiting team all the way from Washington, D.C., the Shadow. First, we've got number 1, Ashley Gentlet. Give it up for number 3, Sammy Smalling. Number 4, Ellen Bueller. Number 8, Pat Brinsman. Give it up for number 9, Annalise Peters. Number 11, Tiara Romero Pena. Give it up for number your home team, the Austin Torch. First up, we've got number 2, Rachel Jordan. Go crazy for number 4, MC Robbins. We've got number 5, Elise Frankie. Number 6, Lo Garrett. Number 7, Sharu Lu. Number 8, give it up for Princess Mindy Rodney. Number 9, the one, the only Solo Wilson. Give it up for number 10, Gabby Quina. Give it up one more time for number 13, Emmy Marshall. We've got number 16, Kinsey Liz. Number 17, Olivia Walker. Give it up for number 26, Amy Broom. Let's go. Number 29, Megan Rutledge. Number 31, Nikki Gilbert. Number 33, Brenda Oriana. Number 34, Carly Garrett. Number 42, we've got Meg Duffy. Number 69, we got Jamie Estes. Number 70, Cassia Gonzalez. Number 73, Clara Stewart. Number 82, Sarah Downing. Number 88, give it up for Easton. And last but not least, 00, Maggie Rowell. Laura Landis, Michael Mathis, and Betty Diamond. One more time, give it up for the Austin Tour. As a team committed to equity on all fronts, the Torch now invites you to join us in reflecting on the resilience and struggles of LGBTQ+ communities in Texas. We recognize that Texas has long been home to vibrant queer and trans communities who have shaped its culture, history, and progress, often in the face of discrimination, violence, and political attacks. Today, LGBTQ+ Texans continue to fight for safety, dignity, and the right to exist openly and freely. We condemn all forms of homophobia, transphobia, and discrimination, and we reaffirm our commitment to creating spaces that are affirming, inclusive, and just. We stand in solidarity with those working to build a future where every person, regardless of gender identity, sexuality, or background, has the freedom to thrive. We would also like to extend our love and hearts to our head coach, Luis Primo Ramos, whose mother passed away this past week. Please join us in a moment of respectful silence. Thank you. Now, I'd like to welcome the observers to the field. The observers for today's game are Amy Kay, Joe Sunshine Nyes, and Daniel Benson on the clock. Captains, please head to the midfield for the disc play. The captains for tonight's game are
Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you all got to hear that intro from Joe down on the field. We've got a pretty cool matchup set up here. We've got DC Shadow visiting us. We're going to get to the middle of the field with the captains, flip, and get this game on the get the show on the road, get this game started. Happy Pride. Primo, si nos estás viendo, nuestro más sentido pésame. I'm here with one of my best buddies, Benny Blanco. Bennett. What's up, Bennett?
Not much. I'm excited. I have always wanted to get in a booth, and this is a great opportunity for me to watch some of my friends play from a different perspective. And I'm more than happy to be joining you alongside this journey.
I'm so glad you're here. Bennett and I go way back. We coached Texas Melee together, and we think about Frisbee in a very similar way. And we're happy to just kind of chat here. Hope you enjoy watching this game with us. As always, we are not the most formal team out here. We're here to have kind of conversations, enjoy the game, and make it feel like you're watching the game with us rather than us talking at you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fans, in case it wasn't clear, tonight is Pride Night. Give it up for Pride Night. If you'd like to make a donation to Tent or the Torch, head on over to the Pride table where you can find Pride flags and opportunities to donate to a worthy cause.
What a great way to kick off Pride Month, wouldn't you say?
I could not agree more. Two teams battling to secure their spots in the playoffs. I think DC Shadow they're in a pretty good spot right now. They're undefeated, 4-0 in the South Division. And the Torch are hoping to put that first loss in the loss column for the DC Shadow.
That is the goal. Our playoff hopes are very much still alive. They kind of feel like they have it in the bag right now. We're looking to bring the fight to them.
Yeah, I think Torch is looking for an opportunity for a little bit of revenge. They traveled to DC last year, had a pretty rough game. I think if you ask any single Torch player that was at that game, they would tend to agree with our assessment. But yeah, so they're looking out to come out firing. They have a little bit of a revamped squad this year, and I think they have the opportunity. Some of their top players are able to perform. I think they're able to shock DC in this moment.
Yeah, definitely riding that high from the LA game. Torch came out firing that game, hit a very, very good stride in that game, and hopefully that momentum carries over to today. We got to start hot.
I could not agree more. Torch is a team that thrives off momentum. I think a lot of teams do. It's nothing new for most teams, but I do think Torch thrives very well. I think it's very good opportunity for Torch, given the time that they do play DC this year. They've had an opportunity to kind of ramp up their season and continue to gel and continue to find that chemistry. And I think if they were facing DC at the beginning of the year, I think this would be a little bit different story.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Torch has kind of found themselves a little bit more. I really like that you made that point.
This time at the start of the game and popcorn.
As far as conditions down on the field, it looks like it's a little toasty. As a Texan, you kind of root for it to be hot. Use the heat to your advantage, as all the Austinites are pretty used to 100-degree weather. And we always invite other teams to come over and experience this with us.
You consider yourself a Texan by now, or a resident Florida man?
Florida's kind of similar. It's kind of like a Texas with just a little bit more humidity. But yeah, I would say I've been here. I bought a house here, so I'm kind of a Texan.
Bought a house here, coaching Melee, setting roots.
Yeah, don't tell any of my Florida friends, but I feel more like a Texan than I do a Floridian.
You guys can't see this, but he is definitely wearing a cowboy hat right now.
As far as the wind driving over here, I don't know if you could see the flag in the background, but the flag is hugging the pole. There's no wind here right now as Torch starts off the game with a pole.
Shirulu getting us started here. DC coming out on offense. Let's see what we have here. Tyler Smith with the disc. Got low on the mark here. She had a great game against LA, hoping she keeps it going.
Torch is operating out of a forced middle here, trying to contain the DC offense here, trying to make him throw in a little bit tight windows. Hopefully they can catch him off guard.
Good poach to stifle that offense from Maggie. Rowell. And an early drop from DC. Let's capitalize on this, Torch D. Could not keep that disc in our possession. We're going to need those. We're not going to get that many opportunities to score like that on this team. Unless we play defense like that. Let's go, number 5.
Elise Frankie with a big block on the around. Another freebie for Torch.
Sharu launching. Olympia going. Let's see if she can find it in the end zone.
A monster throw from Sharu Liu, targeting Olympia Walker in the end zone, who is really quick. A little bit out of reach.
I do like that play, stretching the field there. Let's see if this D-line can generate another turnover. Maybe a shorter field this time. It's Sammy Smalling with the disc here. Low, getting very close to that D. Marge Walker over to Allie Wallace. Wide open Tyler Smith. Over to Kira Flores, who finds Allie Wallace. Back to Kira Flores. Kat Richmond with a nice inside lefty flick. So nice and easy upline throw. I think that's what they wanted to run off that first possession.
Yeah, I want to highlight what you mentioned. Torch is not going to get a ton of opportunities versus DC Shadow team. I mean, they have so much chemistry amongst their players, and it doesn't really matter what 7 they put out there. They're going to have chemistry, right? They're going to be able to continuously hit the around, so you really need to take advantage of those freebies that they gave us. They had an unfortunate drop, something that's rather uncharacteristic for those players, and we have to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely, especially when we get a D that is going to shift the momentum in our favor as well. 2 breaks in 1 point. I don't know how many times that's going to happen. Sorry, 2 turns, not breaks.
I will say I do love Sharu's decision there to take a deep shot, a quick one to Olympia Walker. I think it was a great choice. Olympia had steps, and Sharu, one of your big deep throwers who could put the disc, it seems like a mile, was just putting it out to space and letting Olympia win that point with her legs. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far.
DC Shadow with the pull here. And Torch O-line getting set to show themselves off. Mindy centering to Clara. Finding Carly Garrett. Finds Nikki Gilbert. Some ADC connection there. Great throw to space to find Amy Broom. And a nice inside throw, but I don't think they're on the same page there.
Yeah, I think Carly saw that what Amy was seeing a little bit too late there.
I really like that throw from Nikki Gilbert, though. Opening her cutter up. Good mark from Nikki Gilbert. DC's got great handler movement here. Working it all the way up the pitch. Can you tell whose number that is? Number 33. That is Amanda Murphy, working almost every other. Got caught. We got caught.
Yeah, like Dre said, we got caught looking a little bit, and it was a free throw into the end zone for, it looks like Amanda Murphy finishing over to Tiara Romero Pena. Yeah, that was a a clean break chance from the DC Shadow. Once they got the disc, they did not give it back. And Austin Torch needs to tighten up their defense a little bit on those turns. It's unfortunate to see that kind of miscue in their end zone offense there. It was basically 2-on-2 ultimate with half the end zone to work with, and Torch has to capitalize on those opportunities.
Yeah, I think we could be a little bit more patient out there, especially that close to the end zone. I mean, we've already said this once. We're not going to get that many opportunities in that space. We need our O-line to be the ones who are playing clean and crisp.
Likely three-way tie, and it would be a tiebreaker by head-to-head, which would also be a tie, and then it would be the USA Ultimate algorithm. So, best way to Torch to get in the playoffs is win this game and win the next one.
Marge Walker with the pull for DC. And Shirulu is going to pick up. Finds Low Garen on a swing over to the sideline. Great cut from Summer. Getting some positive yards there.
Would have loved to see a break side deep shot there.
Just slips out of Low's hand, looks like. Doesn't hit the corner quite like she wants to.
A little bit of a role reversal there. You have Low Garen throwing a deep shot to Shirulu.
What a world we live in.
If I was a betting person, I don't think I would have bet on that situation happening in this game.
DC working it over to number 20, Kira Flores. Sends a deep shot
Wow.
to number 8, Kat Ritzman. And they get another break.
Another clean break.
Another clean break. I want to see Sharu pop off the mark there, take a peek over her shoulder because she had a cutter going, and that's one that she could have gotten with the help D.
It's one of those situations we have the advantage of a little bit different perspective
A
from the
little
players
bird's
down
eye
on the
view
field.
here, yeah.
And we're just going to sit up here and pretend like we would have done it perfectly.
We would have. What do you mean? I've never done anything wrong in my life.
It's always everyone else's fault.
Spoken like true center handlers.
We have a little bit of a personnel change with this offensive unit. Looks like Megs Rutledge, the 5 on the line, number 29 on the field, is getting an opportunity to come out on this offensive rep.
Nice pull from DC. Torch going to have to work about 3/4 of the field. Finds Clara Stewart. Over to Jam Jam. Back to Clara Stewart. I think we're going to need a really big game out of her. Just a little bit behind Jamie SC's. DC gets a pretty short field here to work with.
Here we go, defense.
In the hands of number 1, Gentilette. DC unable to come down with it, I believe. That may have been out the back.
Yeah, that was a target to Lizzie Laurie.
For the Austin Torch.
Amy Broom picking up the disc for Torch. Got to go 80 yards here.
Looks like Torch has Carly Garrett out on a pedestal there. Isolation.
Could not connect with Nikki Gilbert. That's what you'd expect as club teammates. Think Gentilette there got cut celebrating a little early. Took her eye off the disc. But Torch got another go at it. Let's go. Nice up line from Clara Stewart. Sends it to Megs.
Yes, Meg.
Meg's able to come down with it. Crowd likes it. Over to Carly Garrett. Nice break there to Jamie Estes. Finds Clara Stewart. little give and go. A little classic Amy Broom bid there. She usually comes down with those, but we're going to have to play D again.
Definitely one that is not shy to hit the ground.
She kind of read that, put herself in the end zone there too. But DC got to go 80 yards too. Nice breakthrough from DC to open up space. Gentilette puts it up. Number 33 got wheels out there. Amanda Murphy with a nice little toss for another DC goal.
What an absolute cannon from Gentilette. Oh, my.
I think she likes that flick.
Yeah, Gentilette is usually the one that's scoring the goals. But this opportunity, she showcased a little bit of the assist side. I know it was a hockey assist because she didn't end up with the assist column, the assist stat there. But
yeah, I think most teams are tracking that now, a little hockey assist to the assist, if you will. But I'm most impressed with Amanda Murphy there. Really got on her horse and tracked that disc down.
yeah, Torch, I feel like they're playing a little jittery, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think DC going on this 4-0 run in games, I mean. I think that's a little intimidating, but we need the Torch to settle into this game.
You see a lot of the Torch sideline here trying to hype each other up and kind of remind each other, hey, like we're just as good. We deserve to be here. We can do it.
Summerfield in the pool, over to Clara Stewart. Finding Emmy Marshall, who had a great game against LA. A nice inside from Clara to Gabby Quina. Over to Lo Guerin.
Exciting. Fun throws.
Gabby Quina able to come down with the disc there, a little tap. And
There
Summer
it is.
Wilson reels it in. Let's go, Torch.
Just like they drew it up. The old Mac to the fourth sideline to give us some power position. You got to respect it.
Yeah, it's always written up if it's a perfect Mac like that. You don't get that kind of spin if you don't practice it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of luck to get a point on the board.
I'm with you. We'll take whatever we can get, Frisbee Gods.
DC was throwing a little bit of a lane sag there. Some of the fourth side defenders are kind of hanging out a little bit longer to make Torch rethink their throws over to the fourth side of the field. They were able to kind of break down and get through it, and maybe a little bit of luck on our sides, but they were able to still put a point on the board. It's always good to see.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I want to take a second to shout out Discraft Ultimate. The Discraft Ultra Star is the official disc of the Premier Ultimate League. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Torch coming out on D. Meg Duffy with a pull. Let's go get a break, Torch. Good mark from Duffy here. Amanda Murphy with the disc. Oh.
Torch looks like they're in another FM situation, and a free turn on the reset.
Free turf on the reset. In great field positioning as well.
It's one of those situations you really need to capitalize on. We're about 20 yards out of the end zone here for a break chance.
Nice breakthrough from Duffy over to find Brenda Orellana. Well read by Amanda Murphy. I think she might be my new favorite player.
Too quick. She's just too quick. Look at those. Look at those wheels.
Rachel Jo Rocha. She graduated high school? Yeah, I think she did. Or is about to. Oh, floating.
Nice high release backhand there for the goal.
Just floats over our defense. That's tough. That's tough.
Gentillette get another goal. Really, I think I think she's the point leader for the DC Shadow.
I don't doubt it. I think we're going to be hearing that name a lot, along with Amanda Murphy. Especially because some of the big name players from DC aren't here. Kind of like feels a little bit, I don't know if this is dramatic, but it kind of feels a little bit like when Messi doesn't travel to away games. Cammy Groom's not here. Dang, I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, missing Claire Trope as well, Claire France. A lot of big names that a lot of fans out there probably recognize from the DC Shadow. That doesn't really, I don't want to take away at all from the DC Shadows roster. I mean, they are so extremely deep with tons and tons of high-level, high-pressure games, right? I mean, a lot of this roster plays for Scandal, who made the finals last year of USAU Club Championships. They made the finals of the PUL Championships last year. I mean, they just have tons and tons of experience at the highest level.
Yeah, nothing like a second-place finish to fuel you for the next year. Mindy Radke centering to Clara Stewart. Got Jamie Estes with the disc on the near sideline. Puts it up. It's a little short. DC cleans it up.
Yeah, it looks like Carly was a little deep there already, and you got to really put some mustard behind that one. Mindy with a quick D back. Great job. Jamie with a little scoop to save it.
Nice grab jam. Shout out to Squid watching our game. Don't text us. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, we need to work on the algorithm for YouTube. Trying to get YouTube as a corporate sponsor for the Austin Torch.
That'd be sick. Carly Garrett on the mark here.
Wow,
And
I don't think DC held the disc for more than a second that possession.
Yeah, I
They
don't
are
think our
quick.
marks got set there. I think that was number 17, Maggie Pendleton, reeling
don't-
in the score.
I don't even think we had much time to even shout out any of the players' names. It was already in the next person.
You know which name I won't be forgetting? Amanda Murphy.
I have no response for that. I feel like they've caught every disc. They've thrown every disc. I see 7 Amanda Murphys out there.
Me too.
Once again, DC Shadow proving that once you do turn the disc, it is going to be very hard to get it back from them.
I think the Torch is going to play around with their O-line, especially if we're going to have to come out these many points. Try to find a recipe that works, a line that works, so that we can punch in clean holds and have our defense get to work. Sharulu with the disc, picking up to Clara Stewart.
Looks like a side stack flood, getting a low Garen out, isolated out into space.
Carly Garrett wanted the deep shot, didn't come. Gabby Quino finds the under. Now it gets to Carly Garrett. Looking for a reset here, finds low Garen. Getting a little crowded by the disc. We got Sharu here.
A poach from Amanda Murphy to help out in the deep space. What a play by Amanda.
Yeah, 3 DC defenders there, red Sharu's throw. I think low is amazing, but I think that DC defense was a little smart there.
What a save by Lacey Laurie there to save possession. Oh, and a quick drop on a turn.
And Torch is back on offense.
I missed the turn. What happened?
It was an under drop.
Love that for us. Over to Low Garen. Summer Wilson runs it out. Keeps it in bounds to Shirulu.
Just outside of the fingertips of Clara Stewart.
I think she was looking for the line there. And that's the end of the first quarter.
If you're the coach here and you have one thing to highlight to the Torch huddle, what are you telling your players?
I think you're telling them to calm down. That's the first quarter. It's gone. You can't get it back, but you have a lot of game left. And, don't worry so much about the score right now. It's going to be a big mountain to climb, so you kind of just have to settle into yourselves and worry about what you're doing, not what the other team's doing.
Yeah, I agree. They seem to be playing a little like all their miscues are. There's not been, apart from Amanda Murphy's block there on the deep there to low Guerin, there hasn't been many DC Shadow turns, right, that they're generating. A lot of them just been miscues from the Torch side. So
Yeah, a few underthrows, a few overthrows. I think there's going to be an open player at some point, and we can be a little bit more patient with the disc there. We do get some big eyes for the end zone, especially when the score is a little tilted.
And especially when you have low Guerin going deep.
True that.
But I do want to highlight when DC Shadow does get the disc, it's hard to get it back.
Yeah, they move it quick. Like we said, at one point we couldn't even see the numbers on their backs.
That's probably why they make finals of PUL championship weekend.
Because they got 21 Amanda Murphys out there.
Take your time. Be patient. We have open people. We're winning a lot of these
All right,
matches.
kids, we got a lot of game left to
Let's
go.
keep those things up. Let's keep those things up.
I know it's a
Let's
nice
pick up
game,
the energy a
but
little.
really,
Let's stop being ourselves. Let's pick up the energy.
While we wait for this second quarter to begin, I want to shout out Breakmark. This live broadcast of the Premier Ultimate League is brought to you by Breakmark Ultimate Apparel. Go to breakmark.com to place your next custom team order or check out the PL Athlete Collab shops. We look freaking good out there in these Breakmark uniforms.
What percentage of your wardrobe is Breakmark, Dre?
Like 2%.
Oh, I thought it was really high. I've only seen you wear Breakmark.
You've only ever seen me wear, I don't know, I am kind of head to torso in Breakmark right now.
Yeah. I didn't know they made Breakmark shoes. Those look great.
I said torso. Kicking off this second quarter, Clara Stewart finds a wide open Emmy Marshall in the middle of the field. Looks like a foul call by Megs. Maybe she felt like she had possession of the disc there.
Yeah, it kind of looked like there was a chance for number 23, Lisa Dang, to kind of maybe come through the shoulder a little bit and bump Megs to get to that disc.
Was there an opportunity for a bump there?
That wasn't an opportunity. I think that's what happened.
Oh, I thought it came out a little slap in the hand.
Okay.
Okay.
As we have our first argument here live on air.
We never fight. I think the observer ruled no foul. So it's going to be a DC disc.
Graham Cunningham looking to get the offense started here. Back to Lisa Dang in the middle.
Lizzie Laurie with a nice break throw in the middle of the field for DC.
Back to Lisa Dang in the middle with the break side swing over to number 4. Ellen Mueller. Back to Mueller. Swing to the break side. Lisa Dang.
DC working it with their handlers and mostly the front of the stack here. Over to Gentilette.
You know Gentilette's looking for the end zone here.
Good switch here to protect the end zone. And just a foot race to the cone. DC wins it.
Torch has got to figure out a way to stop the front of the cone there. They got to protect that front 10 by 10 box at the front.
I think we did a good job of anticipating the handler strike, not so much the middle of the field run to the sideline.
I do appreciate the Torch handlers trusting their downfield cutters in those small spaces. You know that these DC Shadow defenders are going to be on your back hip. As an offensive cutter, you have to be willing to make that extra gear. You have to find it, and you have to attack the disc. You can't let up at all because you know DC is going to be right there hunting for that block.
You're such a good coach, Benny.
Thank you.
Get to see another iteration of a Torch O-line. We got Maggie Rowell and Elise Frankie, who normally play D. Let's see if they can be the spark that we need.
See Summer Wilson out there dancing, having a good time.
Sharu centers to Summer. Over to Lo Garin.
A little bit of a junky look here from the Shadow. Trying to force the Torch to kind of throw right into it and hopefully get a freebie.
Summer finds Frankie. Back to Summer. And again, well read by the DC defense.
These Torch players are open. They're just a little far away, right? So it's these lanes that look open. DC Shadow is swarming them, kind of taking those looks away.
Yeah, they're really good at attacking shallower angles than our cuts are. So they're able to kind of see where the throw is going and anticipate it, I guess, just get there first.
Summer with one of those one of her famous picturesque layout D attempts. Another goal for the DC Shadow at the front cone.
Still a long game left to play, folks. Keep sharing the energy.
I would like to see Torch kind of attack the break side of the field a little bit more. Right now, they're just trying to win isolation one-on-one on the four side in the middle, probably about, I don't know, 15, 20 yards outside from the thrower. And then when that cutter does get the disc, their next continuation cutter in the D space is open. But they're just too deep right now. I think they need to be a little bit shallower so that when they're attacking the D space, they're actually attacking away rather than making cuts towards the sideline and making these more horizontal angles.
Yeah, 100%. Also think our cadence is a little bit off. I think we're kind of used to getting into a power position hook. And, you know, they're doing a good job of taking that away, taking the deep space away in that way. And so I think we need to fix kind of our rhythm here a little bit.
DC Shadow PUL falling out of bounds here. Torch is going to be set up in the middle of the field. Looks like we have a side stack with Carly Garrett isolated as the initiating cutter. But as DC Shadow defense kind of falls down, it looks like they're falling into kind of a junky set. You have an under bracket with some help over top. It's going to be pretty difficult for Torch cutters to kind of find an open spot here.
Yeah, I agree. We've seen the Torch run a couple of times as flood play, and it's helped them find space, especially with a great breakthrough like that. And I like that. You know, we were talking about earlier, if we use the break side, we're gonna create that space for ourselves.
Estes downfield making a break or a deep cut there for Amy Broom. Amy looks it off. A big swing from Clara Stewart over to Nikki Gilbert on the near side of the field here. Amanda Murphy tightening up on the mark. Ooh, another opportunity for DC to try to snipe that throwing lane. They are
always watching. They are always watching. And I think that's always been a kind of a weak point or something that the Torch need to be working on at all times is not throwing to those poaches.
Another miscue there from the Austin Torch. An inside flick that went a little bit too far there. Hopefully they're able to lock in here on defense and get a block.
DC puts it up. Looking for a Gentilette. Finds her. Gentilette bombs the flick.
To your favorite.
Wide open. Guess who? Amanda Murphy. Listen, I'm a Torch fan first and foremost, but I'm impressed.
Is the trade deadline over for Torch to make a trade for Amanda Murphy to commute over to play with the Torch, your favorite team?
Are you willing to sponsor that?
We're going to a commercial break here to get our sponsorship money. Looked like a little bit of a miscue there. Torch O-line here reacted a little slow for the pull. Swinging over to Rachel Joy Rocha. Centering the disc over to Kinsey. You have Maddie Easton streaking deep with a great undercut. Kinsey finding the open space for Duffy. A little bit too far there. Disc in the hands of Wallace. Back to number 21. Swinging the disc quickly over to Kira Flores. Flores to wide open number 3 there. Sammy Smalling. Right back to Sammy Smalling. Now Duffy is coming up to put a mark on. Sammy Smalling at the front of the end zone, front cone. If Torch can protect this cone and force DC Shadow to swing the disc and hopefully make a play on one of these break side swings. It's hard to argue with textbook end zone offense there. I mean, DC has proven that they're able to win the front of the cone. They're also able to prove that they're able to swing, throw the dump, and hit the break side at the other front of the cone.
I would say that is just like they drew it up. Dare
Yeah.
I say.
Unironically.
Yeah.
That's probably what the coach is talking about in their end zone scrimmages.
The chat just told me that Amanda Murphy's nickname is Beans. Am I allowed to call her Beans?
And the chat also says that she is a horse.
That actually explains so much.
That is awesome that the PUL is allowing horses to play.
Shout out to Annalise Peters. I heard you missed your flight. Bummer. See you next time.
Another huddle here for the Austin Torch. A lot of players jumping up and down, trying to generate a little of excitement. Hopefully shake out the nerves a little bit. You can tell they're playing a little nervous. This is a completely different Torch team that you saw playing against LA Astra. And that team kind of took it to LA, right? They had a phenomenal game, one of the best games I've seen Austin Torch have this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think they gained a lot of confidence in this game that they have struggled to find. They gained a lot of confidence in that game that they have struggled to find in this game. And I think that's that's what happens when you're playing the 2024 runner-up, you know? I think also the Torch kind of have to shift their mindset here. This is a very, very steep hill to climb. And, you're going to have to focus on something other than the score to get through this game. So if you just keep thinking about how much the score is getting away from you, then you're going to just put your head down in that case.
A pull that kind of falls back towards the attacking end zone here. Megs Rutledge with an immediate streak deep. Early swing over to Mindy Radicke. Claire Stewart with a little bit of a 7-cut, trying to get in a power position there. Mindy hitting Nikki Gilbert for a nice 20-yard gain on the far sideline.
Nice break over to Emmy Marshall. Finds Megs Rutledge in the middle of the field. Wide open Nikki Gilbert. Puts it up. Floats it over.
That feels a little bit more like the Torch that we all know and love.
It does. And again, we've got a cutter, cutter-ish person throwing to a handler person.
I don't think that the coaches had that written up in their strategy for this game. I'm going to be honest. I think that's just players playing a little bit of Frisbee.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why they're here now, because they are good Frisbee players. They could play on all sides of the disc. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, anytime you have an opportunity for your players to be a little flexible, I think it makes it a little bit more harder for the defense to adapt. Great shot there from Nikki Gilbert to hit Amy Broom in the end zone. We have some Torch players heading over to the DC Shadow sideline. Maybe they're trying to infiltrate, get a little bit of strategic advantage.
You can sing, Benny. Sing into the mic. Sing it. Hot to go.
Torch sideline performing the hot to go dance.
Oh, I thought it was the YMCA. So that's not a great joke. My bad, guys.
Wallace with the disc on the far sideline, being guarded by Lo Guerin, looking for an immediate swing. Back to Sammy Smalling. Smalling over to Tyler Smith. Oh.
That's a ghosty right there from MC Robbins.
I mean, Tyler Smith threw a great throw right into the chest of the receiver.
I think MC did just enough to get their eyes off the disc. Wide open Olympia. Finds Maggie Rowell. Over to Lo Guerin. Olympia kind of wants it. We see the DC deep defender kind of lurking. Great under from Summer to recognize the positioning of her defender.
Torch falling into their end zone set here. They're starting to get a little organized. Low with the swing around to Summer Wilson. Interesting throw choice there. Throwing a flick back to the force side, which would seem to be backhand at the time. DC Shadow back on the attack.
Yeah, that's a high Frisbee IQ from the dump defender to always have an eye on the thrower, being able to read that all the way.
Allie Wallace attacking deeps. Summer earns that disc back.
We'll take it. Let's get some
Cerullo.
movement. Nice inside over to Lo Guerin.
Low with a nice soft break around to Maggie Rowell. Maggie attacking the D space with Olympia Walker. The hat comes off. Sammy Smalling with the block.
Over to Tyler Smith. Elise Frankie on the mark. Finds Sumi Onoe. And just slips through the hands of the DC player. Cerullo's going to pick it up back on O.
Torch needs to capitalize on this one. DC has given him plenty of opportunities. Looks like a timeout called by the Austin Torch sideline here. Looking to get probably a change of personnel as some of those Torch players looking a little tired from multiple possessions back and forth.
That was a really nice toe of the line there by Lo Guerin too, though. But I think the timeout was called before that throw.
I would agree. It's one of those unfortunate timeouts. You probably want back and say, hey, maybe I want to apply my timeout after that catch.
You didn't know that was going to happen, though. And I think the coaches are looking for positioning here. And Clara Stewart already over the disc. In a great spot, I'd say.
All that to say, this is a break opportunity for the Austin Torch. They need to start putting some of these on the board and start capitalizing in the end zone set. Looks like we're going to have the disc going with Clara Stewart in the center of the field. Looks like Jamie Estes at the front of the stack with Carly Garrett, probably most likely being the second option here. Jamie being guarded by Lacey Laurie here. If I had to bet, I would imagine Clara Stewart's probably looking for that inside flick that she loves so much. Low throw, called down by the observer, called up by the defender. I'm curious to see how this one shakes out. Jamie Estes putting the disc down.
It is an active call from the observer, so whatever they went with, I think that's what everyone's going to agree with.
Jackie Wong here to pick up the disc. Centering it to Graham Cunningham immediately.
Gentilette bomb, just a little far for Elise Lori.
That was a big throw.
Would
Well-
you expect anything else?
From Gentilette? No.
Find Jaeger to buy some raffle tickets. She'll be at the booth or walking around. You can Venmo ATX Torch to buy some tickets. The more you buy, the better your odds. Win a dinner, win a hat, win a jersey.
Claire with the bid there. Looks a little shaken up, holding her wrist. DC Shadow with a quick attack from number 66.
Yeah, that's tough. Those are the turnovers that hurt, right in your own end zone. After you've worked it so close to scoring, and then it's just a too wide of a dump, Yeah, those hurt.
Hey fans, I'd like to do something interesting. If you're wearing a Torch jersey, can you stand up for me? Everybody that's wearing a Torch jersey out here in the crowd, PSP jersey, from current or past years, any jersey at all, Austin Torch, stand up and let the Torch see you. If you're wearing a Torch jersey,
You and I, when we were coaching Melee at some of our tournaments, we had some games like that, right, where we're down by a margin that we weren't too thrilled with. And it's always us kind of come back and try to talk to the team, figure out what to say. What would you say to the Torch team right now?
Well, I've got a clear sight of Laura Landis trying to get into the heads and the hearts of this team. Tell them you are capable, you are better than you are demonstrating right now, but you are so extremely capable. She's telling them that she believes in them and that they need to believe in themselves and each other here.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches can only do so much to fire up the team, right? If the team is playing with their heads down, it's going to be real tough for the coaches to really say anything to try to get the team to turn around. You can't be the one that's looking for your teammate to be the one to make the play or be consistent for the Torch right now. You got to be the one to be like, hey, right now my execution's a little bit off. We're throwing them a little far. We're miscues here and there. You got to find a different way to attack.
Yeah, I think the Torch is going to have to really focus on the small victories here and celebrate the little things that they're doing well rather than dwelling on the things that are not going their way.
that was a good one. We should do that again.
I would love to see a little bit of fire here out of this Torch offensive line. Hopefully Coach Laura Landis is instilled a little bit of fight. And if this line is able to showcase that fight, I think that'll go a long way for the rest of the Torch sideline here.
Yeah, definitely. So Tyler Smith with the pull.
For the shadow. Mindy Radke.
Mindy fielding it over to Amy Broom. We got a wide open Carly Garrett. Amy able to get it over to her. Finds Lo Guerin, touching the sideline. Over to Amy Broom. Good spacing here. Let's not fall into those poaches.
DC is always hunting. They know where we want to go right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have to figure out a way to try to get them to fall into those spaces and attack the spaces, the voids that they're leaving.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great game for Torch to watch back as a team to learn from.
Disc is hanging a little bit. I don't know if Gabby will not have an opportunity to make a play on that disc. That's going to be a goal for Sumi Ono there.
Yeah, she had way more field than I thought over on that sideline.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a little bit far away from us.
But I have the best
All right, we're taking our operation to the field.
All right, on that note, let's go ahead and shout out more sponsors here. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Premier Ultimate League. The PUL is a 501c6 nonprofit. This league has been community funded since day one, and we are so grateful for the support. We ask that you consider donating to help us continue to transform and fulfill our mission. Head to PremierUltimateLeague.com to donate today.
Community partnerships. Our league strives for gender, racial, and economic diversity in the sport of ultimate. Let's give it up for the Torch.
You know, this is the first late game that the Torch has had in a while. I think it's helping with the conditions. Could also just be that we're getting closer to summer and the wind is going to die down. But the last few games we've had at home have been very, very windy with unpredictable direction.
If I'm a player, I prefer a little bit of wind. What about you, Dre?
I don't mind it.
Makes it a little spicier.
Rachel Joy Rocha with the disc, crowd favorite. Finds Easton.
Great focus there from Easton to retain possession of the disc.
Rocha with a nice breakthrough off the sideline.
I love that Rachel was looking for that break early. That was at like stall 1, right? Looking to get it off that 4th sideline immediately and get the flow attacking the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to get stuck there. Kinsey Neese with the disc. Over to Brenda Orellana. Rachel Joy Rocha coming from somewhere in the field.
Rachel, a young phenom, kind of showing us how it's done here. Great break there from Duffy for the quick goal from Cass.
Let's go, Torch.
That felt pretty good.
That did feel pretty good. And you know who was the catalyst? Rachel Joy Rocha.
You love to see it. You love when the young Austinites start contributing to the team and playing for a high-level ultimate team here. That's impressive, right?
Yeah, I'm very impressed. I have been impressed by her for a long time. Coming through the youth teams here, through the camps, playing on adult club team Vengeance here.
It's crazy. She's only 6 years old. No, I think she just graduated high school recently.
She's about to. I think we talked about this earlier. When do high schoolers graduate? May, June?
End of the school year.
Oh. Surely.
I do think there's a little rumor that she's leaving the state to go to college for a college ultimate career.
That doesn't surprise me. Tends to happen. You know who didn't do that to us? Summer Wilson. Austin ultimate product from the youth scenes all the way to the pros.
Sun's starting to set a little bit here. Hopefully the lights kick on so we're able to continue uninterrupted. Tyler Smith with the disc looking for the quick break over to the near sideline.
Wow, that's a nice inside breakthrough there.
Marge Walker throwing it up to Maggie Pendleton. Pendleton with a quick swing. Oh, a rare miscue from the DC Shadow here. Hopefully Torch are able to capitalize.
Giroux picking up. Frankie going deep.
Come on, Frankie.
Come on, Frankie. Come on. Yes, sir.
And that is a Torch break.
Yes, sir.
Dre is slamming the table in the announcement booth.
Crowd's going wild here.
Crowd is going absolutely bonkers. Now that's the deep shot that we like to see. The cutter has got ample space for the throw to throw it out, and then just let the cutter with their legs just run into the open space.
Absolutely. Caught DC a little bit on their heels there. Unfortunate turnover from there. They took a little while to get set on defense, and we were able to punch it in, and I love that for number 5, Elise Frankie.
Those are the opportunities that Torch is really looking to capitalize on. Those clean break opportunities on a rare DC Shadow miscue. We got 29 seconds here left in the first half. DC Shadow leading 12-4. If Torch is able to snipe maybe one more point here before the end of the half, I think that'd be a really good momentum to take into the locker room here.
30 seconds left to play in this half. The team that has possession of the disc when the time runs out.
Brenda Orellana with a pull.
Until they either turn the disc.
As our on-field announcer is mentioning, the end of the first 3 quarters finish out with possession, not with the clock. So whoever has the disc when the clock hits 0 will retain possession until there is either a score or a turnover.
6 seconds, 5 seconds here. Looks like an away shot. Great D by Brenda.
Brenda finds it, and I believe that's going to give us possession here with unlimited time to score.
The defense there has the advantage of not really caring about being in bounds, right? Offense has to try and retain possession in bounds, so defense is able to just go all out there, and fortunately for Torch, it was able to generate the block.
That was a great read there.
And the Torch has possession of the disc.
Got Dee Dee, Sarah Downing picking up the disc here. unlimited time on the disc. I think we've fallen into getting a little rushed, getting a little excited.
Let there be light.
A little bit of collision there
Everybody give it up for the
between
boys
both
and
number
girls in the
16s. Marge Walker colliding there with
16
Kinsey.
on 16 crime.
I know. That's another one of those things. DC is just always hunting those throwing lanes. I think if Torch in the second half is able to shorten up their throwing lanes a little bit, I think it's going to be a little bit more beneficial for the success of their offensive possessions.
100%. I hope the Torch go into the locker room and find a little bit of joy here rather than hang their heads. There is not much you can do at this point other than focus on yourselves.
The beauty of Ultimate is it's gamer runs. I mean, DC scored 12 points. Nothing saying that Torch can't put 12 points on the board in the second half.
Who's to say?
found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realign yourself with the world, baby. Breathe slow, baby, yeah. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, breathe slow.
I believe we're back with the commentary chat. Let us know. You missed some great stuff.
We'll do our best to reenact everything.
Torch is on defense.
Sammy Smalling centering the disc up to Tyler Smith. A common dynamic duo in the backfield for DC Shadow. We have a streaking cutter, number 81, Sumi Ono. Onio. I apologize.
We got a little bit of a junky look from the Torch, taking away the open lanes. But DC able to swing it over to the far sideline over everybody. Working it over to Tyler Smith. Shot to the end zone, just outside.
Ali Wallace with a swing to Kira Flores. Kira Flores with a hammer.
Ham attack!
Back to Ali Wallace.
And the hammer to score for DC Shadow.
Big news from the commentating booth. We just turned the lights on in here.
And out there.
And out there. It's crazy. They have a light switch that controls the field lights.
Yeah, the light situation was going to be a surprise whether they turned on or not. And it looks like they turned on. Now feels like a good time to shout out more sponsors. We've got Scout Real Estate. Scout Real Estate is a presenting sponsor of the Austin Torch. You can see their logo on the Torch sleeves. Scout Real Estate is an Austin-based firm built for smart and sustainable urban growth. Represented by longtime Ultimate player Rob Seidenberg, Scout's unique blend of residential, commercial, and mixed-use expertise delivers creative solution and winning results. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, condo, or commercial property, get in touch with Rob at Scout, Austin's Ultimate Realtor.
Amy Broom feeling the pull. Back to Clara Stewart. Hitting a free break to a wide open Emmy Marshall. We might want to check if DC only has 6 players because Emmy was wide open.
Still is.
Claire throwing up to her good friend Carly Garrett there. Carly taking the immediate swing to Mindy Radicke. Radicke attacking deep. Let's see if Torch is able to make a play here. Ooh, Gentilette going up big.
Gentilette making the play there.
Here we go, Torch.
A little too floaty on that throw. Gave the defense time to get under it, get good positioning. Amy was trying to find it, but she may have already been a little too deep to attack it. Wide open Emily Kiver here on the sideline.
Looks like a zone look here, some sort of contained defensive scheme from the Austin Torch. Now Torch is falling into a person matchup here. Amanda Murphy running unopposed. Now Clara Stute marks up. Clara with a little fire there. Shutting down the speedy Amanda Murphy on the reset.
That's a nice shot to the end zone, but not in.
Carly with a good roll there to take away the free goal. And once again, DC Shadow is able to score at the front cone.
You know, I think right now we're playing to beat our score from last year. Last year's score against DC was 21-5, and we're at 5 now, which puts us in a good position.
Torch coming out on offense.
That's a really nice pull.
Great pull, getting fielded by Sarah Downing here. Centering to Meg Duffy. DC with another lane sag here. Thrown out to space. Didi with the great snag there, number 82. Great break inside to Brenda. Brenda looking to her good friend Cass here in the middle of the field.
Two
Gabby
players
streaking
representing
across.
Mexico. Two-player representing two-player next to me. Little lefty. from
I'm
Didi.
loving these quick little breaks that Torch is throwing.
Where has this been all game? Just kidding. You guys are doing great. Just going to need a reset there. Finds Cass. Oh, a little slip there. Otherwise,
Oh,
defender
run
would
through
have been
block
on
on the
skates.
dump reset there.
just a little late. Just a little late on that look. Got a wide open DC player going.
Sam Smalling wide open with no Torch player in sight. Brenda trying to make a play on the disc, hanging a little bit. Back to Kira Flores. Hanging throw, curving just away from the defense there. Sammy Smalling with the goal. Takes the score to 16-5 in favor of the DC Shadow. They're using, I will give them a shout out. They're doing a great job putting some of the shape on these discs, right? It makes it very difficult for the defense if you're able to put it just kind of bending away from the defender.
Yeah, I think that's an elite ultimate team right there with lots of experience, lots of high-level reps that they get, and just kind of comes with time. Yeah.
And it's not just coming from their notable primary throwers in Tyler Smith, Kira Flores, Sammy Smalling. It's coming from every single cutter that's getting the disc. So great job. Kudos to the entire DC Shadow roster doing a phenomenal job of hitting these windows that the Torch is trying to make difficult, and they're making it look a little bit easy out there.
Yeah, I think this is a good team to show developing teams. You think this is one that you'd show to Melee, bring back to the clubhouse?
I would love to show this to Melee. If Melee's able to play at 50% of what DC Shadow is doing tonight, I think we were playing the other weekend at Nationals, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. 2026, Melee back to Nationals. You heard it here first.
Back in the action, Mindy fielding the centering pass, swinging immediately to Clara. Megs Rutledge with a laser down the close sideline. A little bit far out of reach for Jamie Estes. Gentilette in tow there trying to get the block.
Yeah, just fading away. Just that shape that we're talking about that DC is able to put on the disc that we maybe are struggling with a little bit. But there is no wind here today, so throwers should be having some fun.
Jamie Estes on the mark.
Nikki Gilbert doing a great job making that throw. Had to be a big wide swing. Amy Brew, what?
Huge!
Gentilette kind of put her arms up a little bit. She was
Oh my
like, whoa.
God.
I don't think she expected that block from Amy Broom
That
there.
was huge.
Clara getting the flow back immediately. Carly with a fun throw up to Clara Stewart at the front cone.
Clara putting her defender on skates there.
And just Clara to Jamie Estes, a little Austin Disco Club.
Wow.
Can we go back and highlight Amy Broom's layout block there?
Wow.
Oh, my God. Amy Broom saving the possession there for the Torch defensive possession there.
That
wow.
was incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Phenomenal D by Amy Broom there. And I love to see Torch not kind of like relish in that and just get the disc moving. DC was kind of stunned a little bit, it seemed like. You saw Gentilette throw the arms up a little bit. And, hey, I kind of had a similar reaction in my mind. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I agree. I think we were all not shocked that Amy Broom did that, but kind of just like, whoa. I think that's the biggest play we've had all game.
Could not agree more. Hey, maybe that'll spark a little bit of fire. I mean, it just goes to show that Torch can do it, can make these plays. I think we're playing a little nervous. I still think we were playing a little nervous to start the second half.
But guess what? We beat last year's score.
And we got a lot of game left.
A lot
And
of
ultimate
game left.
is a game of runs.
Big pull from Shirulu. DC centering to Tyler Smith.
I like that pressure on the pole there. At least Frankie get down there quickly to pressure that first throw from Tyler Smith.
And Torch throwing a little bit of a zone here. Oh, just a little bobble from DC gives us a disc back. But I really like that look from the Torch with Low Garen creeping in the deep space, really deterring those throws from DC. Oh, Summers had that cut open all day.
Oh, I like
it
the
up.
shot. You have two open Torch receivers there. They could have caught it together. Have maybe 2 points?
2 points. Double it up.
MC and Frankie
Double
share
it
a hug
up.
as I think both of them could have caught that for a goal. Frankie, the veteran, letting the younger MC get a little stat in the old stat column, huh?
Let's go. A little summer to MC connection.
Yeah, a little throwback to Melee a couple years ago.
Throwback to Melee when we coached together. What a time.
Do you remember that?
Of course I remember that.
Yeah, I don't cry every night about it. Wow. 2 back-to-back torch points. And not just boring points, super exciting.
Super exciting. And something that we're doing really well, maybe this is something that the coaches said at halftime, is don't wait for the defense to set. Get them on their heels. Make it happen.
And kind of looks like we're having a little bit more fun. When you play a little bit more fun, you have a little bit more success.
You also have a little bit more fun.
Yeah, some cheers from the crowd here. Crowd's starting to get back into it.
This is a pretty big crowd. I think this is the biggest crowd we've had in a while. Thank you to Austin Ultimate for they're handling a raffle for us today. Some
Huge.
proceeds going to the Transgender Education Network of Texas, TENT. And shout out to all the players that are competing at Club Suntex this weekend that are here tonight.
Graham Cunningham swinging the disc to Amanda Murphy, Dre's favorite player from the DC Shadow.
Gosh, she's so fast. Did you guys hear she's part horse?
Thank you, Annalise Peters, in the chat for filling us in that Amanda Murphy is actually indeed part horse.
A little junkie set from
Ooh.
Torch here, taking away these open lanes. Floaty throw here.
Yes!
Brenda eating it
Oriana
up. Let's
with the block. I
work,
want to shout
Torch.
out her fellow teammate from Mexico there, Cass, kind of jumping the throwing lane on the dump there, really forcing the thrower to have to attack a different space on the field. Great
Nice,
inside shot there to
cheeky
Summer
inside
or to
throw
Duffy.
from Dee to Duffy. Oh, she needs a help here.
I apologize. Summer's made that little inside cut so many times. I thought it was Summer again.
Gabby with a catch under pressure there. Over to Kinsey.
Good on Gabby just to clear the space there. Duffy, some quick footwork there to get the disc up line. Torch about 10 yards outside of the end zone. Goal up
Finds
to Cass.
Cass.
Looks like there might be a call on the play. A lot of players signaling pick.
I'm so glad, even though it was a pick, I'm so glad Cass was there because I thought that was intended for Kinsey and I thought it was going to be just long. But it looks like the pick was involved. It's going to go back to Duffy on that far sideline. Dee on the dump, getting a little physical there.
Fun
Hammer to
throw.
the opposite side.
Oh. Gabby with a great second effort, calling an injury.
Called the disc down herself and then called herself off the field.
Oh, Gabby.
Oh, Gabby. So much integrity. Frankie coming in for Gabby.
Mo, Bonesaw's daughter, in the commentating booth, very concerned with Gabby, making sure that Gabby is okay.
DC picking it up. Got to go 80 yards here. We're going to see another poachy defense from the Torch, taking away those easy lanes. And Brenda protecting the deep space for us.
You got to feel pretty good about how Brenda in the D space, yeah?
I do feel pretty good about it. We have two really, really good deep defenders in Brenda and Lowe.
Yeah, Brenda, so incredibly fast and so great at attacking the disc high.
DC finds Amanda Murphy. Now they're going to work it through her with Flores, I believe.
Disc back to Graham Cunningham, immediately hitting it back to Kira Flores. Kira Flores is not holding the disc much longer than a second here, getting the disc moving. Something that DC Shadow has done so well is just going quick. And as you see it once again, they hit the quick break for a nice 10-yard goal to the break side of the end zone.
Flores has a really quick release there. I really like that. She's playing chess out there, seeing things that are happening, developing like 2-3 throws ahead, and is able to just kind of punch it in.
Extremely talented player. I think a relatively young player, too. New into the elite club scene and just absolutely dominating. And I'm sure is going to have an incredible career ahead of her.
Yeah, tearing it up. Fun to watch.
Need custom apparel for your next team or venture? Check out Breakmart.
Great point by Brenda there, number 33 for the Austin Torch, getting that huge block on the big cross-field throw from DC Shadow. Unfortunately, Torch is very close from executing another break there.
Tyler Smith getting set to pull for DC. Still not used to seeing Tyler Smith in a DC uniform. They're so quintessential Raleigh to me.
Yeah, I agree. When I think Tyler Smith, I think UNC and Raleigh. I just think the whole entire state of North Carolina. But
fun to watch them out here, though.
yeah, the incredible player, like a pure handler. When you think of somebody like, hey, I want to be a handler, okay, go watch Tyler Smith. Watch what they do in the backfield. Watch how they attack the downfield space. Great job.
While we're yapping about Tyler Smith, the Torch cannonball into the end zone. Jamie Estes. That's your wife, brother.
Yeah, we share a house. We are married, and I love to see her succeed. Great shot from Nikki Gilbert. Absolutely incredible throw.
Jamie's such a joy to watch. She brings so much fire to this team, especially when she's having fun.
Yes.
That was a great point from the Torch.
Yeah, that's a little bit of offensive flow that we've been yearning to see out here from the commentating side. And I'm sure all the fans could agree.
Absolutely.
That felt like a little bit more like we were watching the version of Torch at the LA Astra. Just absolutely clicking on all fronts. So it's so incredible to see them start finding a little bit of groove here. And that brings the lead down to 9.
Jamie and Bennett having their moment here from the field to the booth. Jamie firing up the crowd. Love to see that. Love to see that. This is a big crowd out here to support our home team. And Jamie's one of the reasons they're here.
Yeah. Jamie Estes, taking personal bias aside, absolutely incredible player. So fiery, can do it all. Incredible thrower, very aggressive attacking the D space, whether she's doing it with the disc or whether she's doing it with her legs. So it's really exciting to see her start finding her groove here in the second half.
That pull, I don't think, had the intended, flight that the puller wanted.
Yeah, I would agree. They might be requesting a mulligan on that one. I'm not sure who was pulling that disc.
Or maybe that was on purpose. What do we know?
High-level strat. Is this the new meta? You heard it here first. New meta with the pulling and pulling for ultimate. Quick swing over to the fourth side from Graham Cunningham over to Tiara Romero Pena. Once again, Amanda Murphy about 10 yards outside of the end zone here. Let's see if Torch can protect this front cone and really force DC Shadow to do something a little bit different.
A little adjustment there, taking away the upfield shot from the mark. But DC still able to find it. I like that it's a small adjustment to shift your mark there to kind of protect that front cone where DC has been so successful. But they're still gonna punch it in. But I do like that from the Torch. They are thinking about that, how to protect that front cone.
Yeah, if I'm the coach here, I'm happy with that defensive rep. I mean, all things aside, obviously DC Shadow puts a point on the board. Not thrilled with that, but if one thing I take away is the defensive line there was playing a little bit more fire, a little more intensity that was kind of lacking as the lead started getting a little bit further apart.
Maybe it's the lights.
Maybe it's the lights, yeah. Can we turn them brighter?
In our favor. How do we
if you will, light lit.
Burn.
Oh.
Got under a minute left here in the third quarter. Again, this quarter will end with possession. So whoever has the disc when the clock hits 0 will have unlimited time to score. And the defense just needs to get a block. Or a Callahan. That'll count.
Great hang time on this pull from the Shadow. Looks like it's going to fall out of bounds, though, here.
Clara Stewart's going to take it to the middle of the field. I want to shout out number 13, Emmy Marshall. She's got a pretty big crowd that drove in from Baton Rouge. She's our resident Louisianan.
Yeah.
Is that what people from Louisiana like to be called?
I think so.
She's got a big crowd here.
Clara elected to take the free swing to Mindy Radicke. DC's giving Claire that free reset because they're looking to jump up those lanes there for the downfield cutters. Amy with an absolute rip to Emmy Marshall with a streaking Megs Rutledge right behind for their free goal. Look
What
at
a
this offensive
point!
torch.
What a point!
Wow. Torch is finding a groove.
Yeah, I kind of noticed DC bail on the deep defense there, but props to Torch sending 2 people deep, splitting their defenders, and they had no choice.
Absolute cannon from Amy Broom there, number 26 for the Austin Torch.
Yeah, I like that. Nice and flat. Didn't have too much shape to it. Didn't give the defenders a chance to catch up at all.
It basically caught itself in Emmy's hands.
Imagine
It was that good of a throw.
She should have cannonballed, honestly, milked it a little bit longer.
That would have been like a 15-yard
The people
cannonball.
are here to see you, Emmy.
Shout out to all the Baton Rougeans. That is no slight to anyone that lives in Baton Rouge. We were just trying to come up with fun little names for the locals there in that city in Louisiana. Jamie Estes, number 69 for the Austin Torch, trying to get the Torch sideline and the Torch crowd fired up. And still a little bit of energy. We got 3 seconds left here in the quarter.
Brenda with a pull.
The horn
DC's
goes
gonna
off.
retain possession here. Tyler Smith with the disc. Over to Kat Ritzman. Finds number 3, Sammy Smalling. Back to Tyler Smith. Gabby with a very close, almost poach D. And a drop, but the Torch is not going to be able to get the disc back there.
That's fine. That's still an opportunity that DC Shadow does not get to put a point on the board. I mean, ideally in a situation there, you want to be able to have one more chance to try and put a point, get a break. But DC, Austin got a little bit lucky there. DC had a wide open cutter streaking deep. And I don't know if the DC players saw it, or maybe they did. Maybe they were so antsy to look downfield and attack it, and maybe that happened through the drop. But
do you think DC here is thinking about clock management, or are they just trying to put as many points on the board as possible?
I don't think that's something of their character. I think they will probably throw some zoning looks here to kind of slow down offensive possessions, especially with given how well the Torch offense has been attacking. They've been a lot more consistent in this quarter, in the second half here, and I would anticipate that they're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, I would love to see this Torch huddle getting this place fired up, and we got one more quarter left to play, folks.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this huddle right now, the energy just feels different. Sure, we're 100 feet away, but you could just tell. I mean, heads aren't hanging. I mean, people are smiling. People are clapping. They're having a lot. They're in a much better mood right now because they're playing a lot better. And it's so incredible to see Torch continue to play at the level that we are so accustomed to.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We've got 3 of these, 3 free dinners to give away.
I do have a couple more sponsor shout-outs. This next one goes out to Tusk 365, the Texas Ultimate Summer Camp. Torch is sponsored by Texas Ultimate Summer Camp and Tusk 365. Tusk provides experienced, responsive, year-round youth ultimate programming for Central Texas and beyond, with decades of service and ultimate education for beginning players through elite. Tusk is dedicated to growing all levels of youth ultimate aligned with their equity-driven mission. Registration is open right now for Tusk's premier program, 2 weeks of ultimate training and fun at camp in June. Register at tuskulti.com and follow Tusk on Instagram and Twitter at tuskulti. I want to say that I worked at Tusk Ultimate for a few years, and it was the most fun I've ever had coach. Well, I don't know about ever, but I was so much fun coaching at Tusk. Those kids are phenomenal. It's
such an incredible opportunity for young players to get out and get to just share a field with some of incredible ultimate players in their local community. Some absolutely phenomenal players at the top of the game right now have gone through that program and are just showcasing everything they learned at such a young age.
Yeah, you'll see these players everywhere. Somebody that comes to mind that went through the Tusk program is Carly Atwell playing in Utah. She's been she's become a household name. Another person who just tore it up at College Nationals, Caroline Stone with Vermont. both players who came up through the Austin youth scene and Tusk specifically.
The winner of the disc is 854490.
The Torch O-line out here. We got Amy Broom, Nikki Gilbert, Clara Stewart, Jamie Estes, Carly Garrett. We have Emmy Marshall, and it looks like Mindy Radicke ready to field this pole and hopefully continue the offensive success they have. Like we said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if DC Shadow kind of throws a junky look to kind of slow down the offensive production that the Torch has had.
I just like that the Torch is not throwing into poaches anymore, or not as much. The disc is in the hands of Carly Garrett. Finds Nikki Gilbert. Close D there. Nikki saw the defender.
Off the hands of Emmy Marshall on the fourth side for the up line.
The winner of the 1972 hat and cup 854501. Who is it? Congratulations on your new hat and shirt.
Oh, just out of reach.
Just in time for the Torch to be back on
Torch with another opportunity to try to put this one in, take their points to 10. Clara with the fake around, hitting her good friend Carly Garrett. Carly with the soft little inside. I love that cut from Clara there. Little 7 cut to get the free reset. Unfortunately, just out of reach there. Carly on Amanda Murphy. Carly doing good body control there. Amanda goes up.
Good box out from Amanda Murphy.
Fixing the headband there.
Thought it was a call.
I thought it was a call as well.
Over to Ella Mueller.
Jamie doing a good job. Jamie Estes, number 69, doing a great job sealing that around to
Nikki
prevent.
nearly there. Disc in the hands of Amanda Murphy. Finds. Can't tell who it is. But it's a DC score. Oh, it's Lizzie Laurie for the score.
Lizzie Laurie. Another textbook offensive flow there from the DC Shadow. They did a really good job of attacking the break space with those little 10-yard soft breaks. It's really hard as a defense when the team is clicking that well, hitting those little tight windows consistently from not just 1 to 2 players, but like all 7 that are out there. It's really hard to play defense against teams that are able to produce that at that level.
Yeah, I really admire the way that DC is able to turn their jets on when a player like Amanda Murphy catches it in the deep space. Immediately has help all around her, and they're able to create and use that momentum going forward. Torch back on O here. Waiting for the pull from DC.
This next Torch line, you could probably expect Summer Wilson and Sharu Liu to be kind of running the backfield here as you see Summer fielding the pull, looking up to Sharu. Sharu's always looking for the D space to attack.
Finds Frank in the middle of the field. She's going to need somebody to throw to, though. Little reset option to Sharu Liu. Olympia gets free. Upfield to Lo Guerin.
It's an exciting matchup there. Lo Guerin being guarded by Kira Flores. Lo, kind of a veteran at an elite ultimate, and Kira Flores, a rising superstar.
Disc is on the far sideline with MC Robbins. It's a great D from DC.
DC looks fast.
DC is fast.
You think it's because they're traveling back from the future, being from the East Coast?
Oh, they've already played this game an hour ago, right? That's not fair.
Oh. Allie Wallace with the disc, a streaking cutter deep. Maggie Rowe from the Austin Torch, number 00, looking to help.
That hook a little bit short. Comes off the hands. Definitely not the way she intended it to. But the Torch get another go at it.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a hesitation there from number 17, Pendleton.
Yeah, I think she saw the Torch defender, MC, kind of take away her line, and it got in her head a little bit, but that works for us, honestly. Lo Guerin with the disc, centers to Sharu Liu.
Maggie Rowe, no one with 10 feet, or 10 yards, I apologize. Sharu electing to take the free swing to Summer Wilson on the break side.
Is it just me, or has Frankie been wide open this whole point?
Is that a biased commentary, or are you just making a general blanket statement?
Bias? Me?
But I agree.
A nice break from Logarin over to Maggie Rowell, who shoots it. It's in the hands of Olympia Walker after the tip from the DC defender.
Hey, that's the second one that Torch has gotten when it's been tipped, and they are able to capitalize. I do want to give a little kudos to Maggie. Maggie is not someone that normally is attacking the deep space, but they recognize that Olympia was a little deep, and they put a little mustard on that deep shot, yeah? And DC Shadow was impressive to close that, once again, closing that throwing lane, making a play on the disc, getting a block. Unfortunately, just kind of fell back to the Torch defender. And I say unfortunately, trying to be the unbiased commentator, but...
I'm biased. Go Torch.
Go Torch.
Let it burn.
Let's go. We're going back. We're going back. We're going back. One more time. One more time. One more time. Send it back. And we gotta go back one more time. Here we go.
You know, I think we've talked a lot about the DC offense and how well-oiled they are, but I continue to be impressed by their defensive IQ here. So the way that they attack the space rather than the disc is really something that a lot of teams can learn from.
They're so fast, just across the board. All 7 of those players that are out on that line, so quick, and they're kind of thinking what the offense wants, and they're playing defense on what they would be doing if they were on offense. Torch out here in a little bit of a junky look as Gabby Quino closes it down to Mark. Gabby's kind of running, chasing down every thrower here. Looking to hopefully get maybe another freebie and maybe another little execution error from the DC Shadow. And
What we get?
I mean, did I talk that into existence?
I think that was your D. Put it in the books.
Duffy
A
with a
big rip.
another tip goal.
3 for 3.
Why don't we just throw to the defense every time deep?
New game plan, coaches.
Wow. How do you plan for that? An incredible defensive effort. Was that Gentilette?
That was Gentilette
I
making
mean,
up
are we
a
surprised?
lot of yards
Are
there.
we surprised?
Not surprised
Absolutely
at
incredible
all.
defensive effort by Gentilette. I mean, that's 3 tip disc for Austin Torch goals. I mean, that's frustrating.
Hey, we'll take them.
We'll take them. But if you're on the DC, if you're a DC fan, it's got to be a little bit frustrating. But hey, that brings the lead down to 8. Austin Torch puts another point on the board. Looks like we have a timeout on the field here.
Yeah, DC's just going to regroup here. I don't think it's a bad call, getting late in the game. And I love this for the Torch, though. Just getting some momentum, getting some pride on Pride Night.
Kudos to the offensive cutters that are cutting deep and just the intense focus they have after those discs do get tipped. Because it's not easy in those quick, immediate change of direction just to make a play on the disc that's, just got diverted,
If you're looking to buy or sell a house, condo, or commercial property, get in touch with Rob at Scout, Austin's ultimate realtor.
Just watch the replay on that. That's a nice play. Gentilette gaining a lot of yards there, getting very close to that D.
There's a reason they're ranking high on a lot of the stat columns for the DC Shadow. And if memory serves correct, they play mostly defensive points. So for them to be the leading goal scorer for the DC Shadow is pretty impressive. It means they're getting a lot of breaks.
Well, DC does have a score versus all other teams. What's their score? Their point differential?
Let me check my
Like
notes
plus
here.
40 or something.
Yeah, I think it's 44. Highest point differential in the entire league and across both divisions. Sammy Smalling over to Tyler Smith here. Looks like Torch is kind of sticking with that little bit of junky look, trying to contain the disc in the middle of the field and hopefully get one of their downfield defenders to jump that lane and maybe get a free little block.
Maggie very close to the D there.
At
Frankie
least
on Tyler Smith there.
I like that matchup. That's an
Taking away
exciting
that
matchup.
dump, yeah.
I don't think anyone in the entire PUL wants to be guarding the dump space by at least Frankie. Swing over to the open side, number 21, Jess O. Jess up to number 16 there, Marge Walker. Marge swinging it back to Kira Flores. Kira's with a big break side swing. This would be a huge stop for the Torch end zone defense. DC once again going back to that very quick offensive movement that they're so good at.
Yeah, just knocking on that door. Aw, Torch just looks away for 1 second. You can't do that up there. Not with a team that scored most of their goals in that front zone, that front cone of the end zone.
Hey, but they had to make a lot more throws. That's a win.
It was, yeah.
You always got to be looking to take something positive away from those defensive reps as a coach.
Again, you're a great coach.
Oh, my God, keep gassing me up. Takes our score to 20 for the DC Shadow, 11 for the Austin Torch. I think this second half performance from the Austin Torch is something that they can walk away with and be like, hey, like we finally started showing up a little bit more and playing like we normally are.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think all players are doing a lot of things really well in this half. And kind of is really nice as somebody who is a fan of the team to see them with their heads up rather than down. Pull goes up from DC. Clara Stewart picking up in good position. A little poachy from DC. Swings it over to Mindy Radke.
Looks like a backhand for some DC Shadow.
Emmy Marshall with the disc in the middle of the
Oh,
field.
maybe not. I was mistaken.
Finds Nikki Gilbert. Nikki's been putting those. Alex for Carly Garrett this time.
Maybe DC is going with a forced middle here.
Oh,
a
just
tight
gets
window.
a hand in there. That's a good D.
Great D there from Tiara Romero Pena. Take away that little up line. Cheeky little inside shot. Disc over to number 4, Ellen Mueller. Back to Gentilette. You know Gentilette's looking for the end zone. Amanda Murphy about 10 yards outside of the front cone. Ooh, a little bit of a collision of 3 players. There's going to be some sort of discussion between Gilbert, Mueller, and I can't see from my perspective who that third player is that's involved. I would imagine that the observers are going to get involved with this one.
I believe it's just going to be a turnover from Torch. I do think that there was a player from DC that kind of came from that blind side. Nikki had a clean play on the disc, and I think she was the one that came down with it in the end. But Torch with the disc here in the corner.
Yeah, shout out Nikki Gilbert. So good at having those level-headed conversations in those situations. It's a really good quality to have in an ultimate player. I feel like in the moment it's kind of easy to get a little hot.
Are you a little hothead?
No.
Nikki Gilbert swings it over to Clara Stewart.
Shout out to Austin Disco Club Connection.
Mindy Radke with the disc now.
Megs
shot.
Rutledge.
Megs comes down with it again. Jamie is streaking deep. Gonna have to play catch between the two of them while the rest of the Torch catches up.
Oh,
Megs puts it up, and that's gonna sail outside of the end zone. She didn't really have a lot of help.
Big catch by Matthew Brooks there. Legendary photographer across the ultimate community. One-handed snag. Not great fundamentals as a coach, but great job because he had a camera in the other hand.
You think he caught that on camera?
Hey.
Of himself? A little selfie action there?
Oh. Hey, stay tuned for Matthew Brooks on Instagram. Check out, see if he does a little self-promo in his own Instagram highlights.
Meanwhile, DC sending it up to Gentilette, just about 10 yards outside of the end zone, working with Amanda Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back and talk about that offensive torch possession there. I mean, they had the disc about 10, 15 yards outside the end zone, and they seemed like the backfield was kind of slow to get back down there and help and give Megs Rutledge an option.
Yeah,
She
that's
kinda-
what we've talked about with DC. They have been so good at bringing help after those deep shots, and Megs was kind of stranded there. She had Jamie who went
Yeah.
up to help, but DC did a good job of taking her on.
Yeah.
And then Megs just didn't have a lot of health back there. Got a little stranded.
Hey, I mean, good mental resiliency there to put the disc in play and hopefully let your one of your superstar cutters downfield, Jamie Estes, make a play in the end zone and hopefully get another point on the board. It's from a coaching side of things, it's got to be a little frustrating to have the disc so close to getting a point and then just have an execution error like that.
I think that's what hurts more than the score right now is those being so close in so many situations. I think that DC has given us more opportunities than I think you and I expected up here from the booth, and the fact that Torch has not been able to capitalize being that close to the end zone, that's what the coaches are going to focus on, I think, as something for the team to work on.
Could not agree more. Tyler Smith here with the pull. Deep pull. Long laser line drive.
I think that's the longest pull we've had today.
I think so.
75 yards. Didi finds Kinsey Knees. Kinsey Knees and Gabby Quino working it, the two of them. Looking somewhere else this time. Kinsey Knees still wide open.
Once again, DC Shadow. We have Kat Ritzman with the run-through block there. Kira Flores looking to attack the D space. Meg Duffy in pursuit. Great pressure from Meg Duffy. I mean, this was kind of trailing away to the break side of the field there, but
Allie Wallace comes down with it.
yeah, she used her height very well.
Yeah, Duffy was in a good spot there. Could not quite get the box out to get a good jump.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, when you're trying to coach somebody to play defense on the D space, you're always just saying, hey, all we ask is you to contest. But that was kind of tough. I mean, that disc was trailing away from Duffy there, and Allie Wallace just went up high and attacked it using her height advantage. Seemed like a little bit of a miscue there on the offensive possession for Torch. The disc was thrown up to a space that looked like the cutter was kind of leaving and vacating that space, and the DC Shadow read it as soon as that disc went up.
We are just under 3 minutes away from the end of the game. The rules kind of changed a little bit the last 2 minutes. The plays will stop on all out-of-bounds turnovers and calls, or the clock will stop. And at the end of this quarter, we will have a buzzer beater, meaning that the game ends when the clock strikes 0. We're hoping to get a score at 0 at least.
Sharulu picking up the disc, looking to get it moving for the Austin Torch. Maggie Rowell wide open. At least Frank. Looks like a little bit of a junk look from the DC Shadow. We had a drop here from the middle of the field. Frankie was swinging the disc back to Rowell. Chara Romero Pena with the disc getting in motion for the DC Shadow. Swinging the disc over to Graham Cunningham. Finding none other than Amanda Murphy, Dre's favorite player.
Just behind.
Looks like
Amanda
we have an
Murphy's
injury
down.
call. Hopefully they are okay. It seems like they are wearing a shoulder brace. You think it could be maybe re-injuring a little bit of a nagging injury?
I think that may have been a cramp. Okay. Hopefully it was just a cramp and nothing else.
Hopefully.
They did jog off the field.
I'm sure you'll check in with your new favorite player.
I will. Sharulu picks it up for the Torch. We've got Summer Wilson in the dump. Stall has got to be getting pretty high there.
Wow.
Somehow MC catches that through traffic.
Yeah.
We're going to need to be brave and break the mark here in order to get out of this little trap sideline. But
Yeah.
Lo Guerin with the disc in her hands, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think those first couple of possessions over on the far sideline, the Austin Torch dumps were a little bit too far behind. It kind of makes it difficult as a thrower on that sideline to have many options. It kind of favors the defense there a little bit because it makes the window so small to hit.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've been really successful with that setup when the defense is on the other side. We've gotten a lot of those cheeky inside looks. But, yeah, like you said, on that break side, you got to be a little bit closer. That's a good throw to space there.
Rowell showing her wheels low, trusting that Maggie was going to get into that open space up line. Once again, the same thing. Lowe and Maggie kind of little 1-2 punch there right
1-2,
there.
1-2.
Back and forth. Take it 30
Alright.
yards, get another point for
Who
Torch.
needs the break side?
Why go break side when there's a 5-foot window right in front of the Torch side in front of the end zone? That's just the grind point there from the Austin Torch. Lowe hit Maggie on the up line. Maggie threw it right back to Lowe, and then Lowe back on another up line to Maggie. Two very fast players that are both rather difficult to guard for the DC Shadow, even though they are very fast in their own right.
And Torch coming out here on D with just over a minute to play. Let's see if we get another break here. Brenda Orellana getting ready to pull. Pull goes up. Disc in the center of the field with Marge Walker. Now with Kat Ritzman. Big swing back to Marge Walker.
Under a minute to play. Get on your feet.
Torch doing a good job of taking away these lanes, but we're going to need a turnover here in order to get another score. I think DC is very happy to just play toss back here.
Yeah, it looks like DC is just content with playing keep away a little bit. You would like to see Torch kind of lock in, play person matchup, and use their athleticism to try to force some sort of tight throw or maybe a little execution error from the DC Shadow side.
I don't think DC is going to take any shots to the end zone here. One, because Brenda's back there, but two, because they really don't need to. If the Torch is going to give them the time here to get these free resets, then there's no need.
As we have 10 seconds left in the game here, looks like DC is just going to kind of ride this one out with maintaining possession. Love to see the fight from Gabby Quina there on the dump there. And I think with this possession, it's going to close out the game here.
I like that for us. I think we grew a lot as a team, especially once the second half got started. I think there's a lot that we can learn, and but I'm really, really happy the way that the Torch closed out this game. I think it gives us a lot of hope going into next week for our last game, where we are still battling for a playoff spot. Last year it came down to the same thing, Torch versus versus Raleigh. This time we're going to take the fight to them, and anything can happen. It happened for us last year. I'm not sure how the rest of the games ended today. I don't know where we still stand, but that was kind of the mentality going into this game. Like you want to take the fight to DC, but the game that you're really looking at is that Raleigh game.
Yeah, I mean, I love the second half performance from the Austin Torch here. I mean, you got to be happy taking that away with given the situation you were and the score and the deficit that you were at going into that third quarter. I mean, I think if they were to come out that second half and kind of replicate their performance in the first half, I think it would be a tough momentum swing that you got to kind of rally and take that into the next weekend versus the Raleigh Radiance.
Yeah, I think for both of us as coaches, this is a game that I really, really love to watch. Learned a lot from DC. I think they're a very well-coached team, and I think that the Torch can go back and watch this film and learn a lot for themselves as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, shout out to DC Shadow. They're missing a lot of their top stars that everyone's so familiar with, but they're
three Messis.
They're three Messis. They have showcased tonight that they are so incredibly deep, and they're looking poised to make a deep title run this year. And I know they are eager to get back to that championship game and put a hurt into whoever they're against, and hopefully take down the title this year.
Yeah, I also think that this is the first time we're bringing it up, but hopefully everybody heard there's going to be an all-star game between the WL and the PUL. Hopefully we can link up with some of these very, very good DC players.
Yeah, I think most would argue that's actually the highlight of that weekend.
Vote Amanda Murphy.
Is anything else going on that weekend? now. So it's exciting.
Also, happy Pride.
You're saying that like there is something that I should know, but I
No, you
don't
shouldn't.
know.
Every game's a Pride game.
Once again, Bonesaw, up here in the commentator booth with us, made their big run down to get joined into the Austin Torch photo.
I think we should be in that photo. Maybe they can Photoshop us in.
Do you think our mics will go that far?
No, but I have a walkie-talkie.
Stick around for the next couple hours. Dre and I are going to host a podcast.
We're about to hijack this live stream.
Yeah, we're going to stay here at the Texas School for the Deaf. Shout out to the Texas School for hosting the Austin Torch. It's actually an incredible environment. I know you can't see it from the live stream, but maybe you get some little snips as the camera pans over. You get to see the beautiful city skyline in the background. And now it's dark, so it's kind of hard. But I've had an absolute pleasure, Dre.
Me too, Benny. This was fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
maybe.
this was our last home game of the season, but maybe
Okay.
we'll take the show on the road.
Yeah, maybe after this we'll rewatch the game and dub over it and re-release it.
Maybe the PUL wants us for the All-Star game. Just throwing it out there.
All right. I'm going to send them a snail mail and see if they get back to me.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't actually know how to turn this live stream off, but thanks for being with us.
So now we're going to do a cover of Shallow.
Love you. Bye.
If you're wearing a PSP jersey, and I see quite a few of you, please head down to the track. It's the jersey I'm wearing right now. If you are wearing one of these jerseys, we're going to take a picture. Come on down. You can see the players down here. Once again, those of you wearing a PSP jersey, I see you heading down. Make your way over to me. We're going to take a picture.